Now, so many people are like, why don't you throw your wife in the back of the motorcycle? Nope. Never going to happen. Never. But I'll tell you straight up, I don't want her in the back of the bike. You know why? She'd be tapping me on the shoulder all the time going, slow down. She has no concept of being on an open cycle going down the road. Once you're on a motorcycle, it's a whole different world. The way it feels speed, everything. I know my wife would always be like, slow down, slow down. We'd be getting run over on the road because she'd be like, no, you're going way too fast. Way too fast. And for me, it ain't meant to be. My wife's not the motorcycle enthusiast. I didn't marry her for that reason, but, you know, I always kind of hope she would have been more open-minded to trying it out, but nope, no way. So it's not, you know, that's fine. I get it. I'm not going to force her to get in the back, but when I bought this, I certainly hoped she would at least consider riding around the back roads, but she's like, no way. No way in hell am I doing that. I'm like, okay, whatever. So as we wipe her down, we get popcorn, nice ride on this. And that was a nice little thing for even my dad, though. Even my dad, he was even a little nervous about all that as well. That's because he's concerned when my mother was living, if he got injured, what would happen to the care of my mother and blah, blah, blah. So that's why he kept it short and sweet, and it was nice. I got to write this down here. It's got a bunch of crap in it. And when I bought this, for the record, this, whoever cut out this thing, they did a terrible job. And technically, when I take this back to Winchester Honda, Timber Honda, they're supposed to fix that when I get the first service done on it. But, yeah. But even for me, I'm blown away. How many miles do you think are on this thing? How many miles do you think are on this Honda Goldwing? When did I buy this? Like September of last year or something like that? I can't even remember. So I have 965 miles, which that, for the most part, is the most miles of any motorcycle in the shop as far as I know. I'm pretty confident this is the highest mileage motorcycle that I own. Wow. Yeah, wow. And I really need to do that clutch kit on the CVST if I get motivated. I get motivated to do that one day, but I just haven't been motivated, people. And the big question now is, which people are kind of asking, commenting, and you know, I can't answer that. Some people are making comments out there that are between Julia and Chris, and I'm not gonna. I just can't answer certain questions. I'm not gonna do that. I mean, they watch my channel, so I start making statements. I mean, so you're gonna have to direct that to them, not to me. I'm not gonna be the micromanager of a marriage. I want nothing to do with it. So, can I honestly answer? Will Julia ever ride motorcycles again? I can't answer that question. So that's not the question to be to me. It needs to be to others. So here it is, the California sidecar, which should be custom sidecar, because California is such a, in my eyes, California just doesn't seem to be the most exciting thing. Here's my straps that I haven't taken out, that I got to take out from trailering this down. And this morning, I was actually getting ready to go up and get a new tire for my wheel on my trailer that blew out coming back the first part of December of last year. I got to go get that mounted. I need to do that. Really what I need to do, if I was really going to do more trailing with my motorcycles, I would upgrade the tires on them because I just drive too fast. But, you know, there's another thing. I don't know, you know. My partner of doing a lot of things has kind of changed, and it isn't to be critical, just sharing with you guys, wondering, you know, what's the next adventure? I don't know. I don't know what the next adventure is. So to be honest with you, as we sit here and communicate with one another and have a nice Friday evening conversation, and hear those that like to reach out and make comments, and some of you get goofy on me, which that's fine. That doesn't matter. Whatever. Social media. I think I get a kick out of some of the comments. And, all right. So what are you going to do now? I don't know. Oh, for the record, all four of these bowls were empty. So when I came out here to get things in order to get my bike out, all these bowls are empty. So this new Costco dog food, they seem to like it. So, wowsker. The good news is they're eating it. And sometimes I think, it's interesting how I'm watching Kiefer. I always want to call Diesel Kiefer. But, it's kind of like, is he losing weight? And, but I can honestly say I watch him eat food. And so anyways, I was supposed to go into Banfield. I got to get him to Banfield. And I thought I made an appointment, but my brain's such mush, everybody. I got to schedule an appointment for him to get his wellness check. So I just can't keep track of everything. So that's what I'm going to do. So hopefully next week we can get him in, have him checked over, just make sure he's okay. And, he's okay, but we just want to make sure. You know what I mean? But he looks a little bigger. I don't know what's going on. He looks a little bigger right now than he regularly does. Oh, one of the dogs ate through one of my freaking battery cables. I'm sure people are like, yeah, they're going to get shocked. Yeah, it's possible. Everything's possible, everybody. So now what's interesting is the wife comes home, and then the dogs sometimes follow her. So the odds are that Scout and Ginger and Tango are all in the house. Huh. Which, that's fine. One thing's for sure, the house, so much cleaner with all these dogs in there. It's just so much nicer. You walk in the door and walk through the house. That's why you see me showing the house. It's not embarrassing like it has been in the past. All right, I got to go to see the mac and cheese. Get this exhaust on this Mustang fixed where it's crooked. So you can see it so well with the car now being out of the shop. On that left exhaust between Mac and I, we definitely are cross-eyed. Look how bad that is. So that's another day of another project for sure. And Gypsy, thank God, Gypsy's staying around. She's not trying to run away. So it's just a fluke. Guess there was a bunny rabbit that ran across the road. That she ran across the road to try to get that bunny rabbit. And all right, so get this here, and then that there. And like I say, this is bugging me. This seat here, look at that there. I'm going to have to get some other type of, wonder if my Spray 9, the Spray 9, this stuff is so incredible. It just is such a good, it removes the dirt and grime. So I'll put that on there, let it set up a little bit. But all this stuff's from Ginger getting on my, Ginger likes to jump up on the bike and sit propped up in the air on the bike. And so that's what that is. I'll take this really wet rag. Let's go over here and see what we got here. See if that maybe does a little something. Rub it in a little bit. I wonder what happened to Roland. Roland was that really cool guy I met at the car dealership. And then we went riding with him a little bit. And I remember the guy that I met that had the Honda Goldwing. I met at the Ram dealership. Very nice guy. He's a real, there's definitely people out there that are true motorcycle enthusiasts where they just ride. They ride all over the country. They just love to ride. But what's interesting for him, his wife used to ride with him, but she doesn't want to be in the back of that bike anymore. So she's totally no longer riding with him. So he's now riding more with his friends and by himself. And that's the thing. I rode from 2012 to basically 2020. As far as riding by myself, like 2020, I think it was 8 years before Julia got in the back of the bike. My dad rode with me from 2012 to like 2000, I'd say 15, 16. And so I've had pretty much a motorcycle life of being a lone rider for the most part. But some people don't like that, and they want to have a passenger or a companion as you go ride, which it is. It is a lot of fun once you get on it, even though the main focal point of most people is you're going to die. I mean, that's the main focal point is you're going to probably die on your motorcycle, which it does happen, but how many millions of motorcycle riders are there? I mean, there's so many. I have met people that have ridden hundreds of thousands of miles on motorcycles, hundreds of thousands, and they're still around. They're still kicking, if not a 500,000 or 1 million. So now it's time for the wheels. That's always the fun part. Get on your hands and knees and doing this. And so, all right. Do I talk a lot? Have I gone to the birds? Have I gone to the dogs? Probably. There she is for night. So Gail's husband Brian, he reached out to me and texted me, said, hey, Mod, remember the Mod Squad? The show The Mod back in the 70s or early 80s. So apparently they're having a big Power Plus Indian Day, where I guess if you want to go to Mod tomorrow, they're going to be offering, I guess, food and drinks and excitement for you to go by there and test drive the new 112 Power Plus liquid cooled setup in their new bagger bikes. They're all Indians going all liquid cool. So he was just sharing that for me to do something tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know if I'll do that or not. Let's kind of see how the day. Really what I want to do is I need to power wash the back of my house because it needs to be done. I mean, so many things, and there's just so many things I need to be doing on my property that I've ignored for so many years now that I'm paying dearly for the erosion of my home and property. So what do? I get to stay home and do home projects. And I'm just like, oh, come on. Well, in 2017, I kind of just said to myself, I'm just done babysitting this house. You know, so it's 8 years later. How long can you keep on pushing it? Where you eventually have to say, either start taking care of the place or get rid of it. You know, one person's like, your front door needs to be painted. The whole freaking house needs woodwork, and all the windows, everything needs to have woodwork, redone woodwork, painting. It's infinite, man. Infinite. Oh boy. Yeah, right. So, I get everybody checking in on me. Okay, yep, she's telling me she has Ginger, Scout. She says I have G, S, and T. Ginger, Scout, and Tango. So yeah, so it's, you know, it's the guilt trip. That's what happens so many times. Like today I was in the Plum Crazy and I took a little ride just to kind of air her out. And then I started thinking, you know, I need to be back at the office working. I need to be back home, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's just the guilt trip. And once again, it took me many years to get rid of the guilt trip, but then, and I did in 2017, 18, 19, 2020, 2021, 22, 23, into 24. The guilt trip was, I'm gone. I'm going to go have fun. Now, one thing about these straps, it's brutal. It's brutal getting these things back out usually. Let me see if I can do it with you guys being here with me because they're so tight. And there's Willow, and there's, you know, okay, I think I got it. But it's like crammed up in the steering in here with this single shock steering setup. You go down the road and you look at these Gold Wings, you see the front end. When they first came out, many people were very critical of this technology. And right now I'm having a hell of a time getting it out. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna probably use two hands. So see, you can't see it right now, but it's not good. Let's see here. I can get up in there and pull it out. I can't, that's too bad. So I keep everybody on my YouTube channel wondering. Nope. I'll take two hands. It's a pain in the ass. It's a, you know, trailering this stuff is not easy. If you don't know how to do this, you pay dearly. So two hands. Well, only I can get it out with these fancy pliers. That's crazy. Tell you, Charlie's motorcycles, there's a fine art how you trailer a motorcycle. Now, when you're doing like I'm doing, and you're doing 1,000-mile a day in one day, you know, hitting 89-mile-an-hour speeds in that trailer. If you don't have these things buckled down, you're kidding yourself. You're going to have a damaged motorcycle when it's all said and done. Now, if the bikes are nice and clean, it's tempting to jump on the bike and go run up the road. But am I going to do that? No. Because it's too many things. I mean, even Julia, when we'd start coming, we'd go out late in the afternoon, in the evening, even she'd be like, Dad, I don't want to be driving back home in the dark. I'm like, I know, we've done it a few times. But she'd be like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be finding the deer. I'm like, I know. We didn't do it many times. We did it a few times, but it just isn't worth it. So Gypsy's content. Prince is content. Diesel's content. Rebel, goofball Rebel. He has that funky look in his face, like a goofball. And then we got Willow, who's the lone poodle that stayed true to Daddy, but he was eating when the wife came home. So, or was he? I don't know. So what are you talking about now? I don't know. I think about talked out in all reality. I think it's time to pull this in. So I park it all the way in. Let me see. Let's first start her up. Let's see how the dogs act, because this kind of reminds them of the ATV. So let's start her up. But I can't start her because she's in gear. So I'm going to put her in neutral or pull the clutch in. Put her in neutral. Can I get her in neutral? I can't. I got to put two hands. There it is. I love the way this thing sounds. It sounds really good. So my back trunk is enclosed properly. If you look there. I told you he'd start barking. So I'll put this here. I'll get about right here because the birds will probably crap on it when they'll probably crap on this thing. Now, window goes down automatically. That's a really nice feature. See, the auto glowing, yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible, everybody, how many videos I've made of the pluses and minuses of motorcycles. This over the Trike, you know, this motorcycle over Harley Davidson's factory Trike. And you can take a Harley Davidson and get the California sidecar package put on it. But the whole point is, I've done so many videos. No, down. I mean, here we go. What is that all about? I mean, Jesus Christ, man. You can't own nothing nice. Not in my place, because he gets destroyed by the dogs. Yeah, like Brett says, well, you created your own situation. Well, no, duh. I mean, I like Brett, but he makes these comments. I'm like, really? I mean, do I look that stupid? Probably. It probably keeps people coming back. Look how stupid this guy is. And you know what? I feel a lot better about myself. And you know what? If I do that for you, God bless you. Good deal. I'm glad I made your day better. Yeah, it's like, right. Uh-huh. Yeah. What else? Yeah. What have you created? You know, it's interesting, too, on my channel, how I share so much, and rarely do I ever hear the other person's stories. Oh, yeah, I did this and I did that. And every now and then I do. But most people won't raise their hand. They won't raise their hand that, you know, I so screwed up my life doing this and doing that, you know, whatever. Because it's embarrassing. Why would you want to put that on a public forum, a public YouTube channel of you making comments about how you screwed up in life, what your challenges were? And that's the only channel. I try to get interaction, and I throw questions out there and comments out there, and it's just incredible how many people just like, it's like this, pew, just right over the head, you know? And I people wonder why I don't really interact sometimes in all these comments, because there's just nothing really there to interact with. I gave you, but I get it. Someone go, yeah, but then we start telling you how to live your life, and you get all pissed off. Right. Do I tell you how to live your life? Right. Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, let me hear let me hear what you've done where I can go, oh, that's kind of not the right, you know, but I'm not really into wanting to beat other people up. That's not my goal. So, this This 18-year-old kid developed a multi-million-dollar AI app. It's incredible what's going on in our world. The younger generation of what's within hands reach of what they can do and can't do. Cleveland, I just don't really, the basketball thing, man. After what they mouthed off on to me, like, no thanks. Go play your little game. 7:30. What do I do now, right? What do I do now? What's the next project? Oh, and here you are. Look. Here's Gypsy. Here's Prince. They're all out there doing their thing. Uh-oh. Here's the kid notifying me. What does she have to say? Yeah. She's so funny. My kid is... She'll just say, Dad. And I'm like, yeah. So let's see what's going on here. Let's see here. Oh, wow. Ha! Oh, my gosh. This is classic, everybody. This is, oh, my gosh. Guess what's going on with Julia right now? What do you think about Julia? I mean, oh, my gosh. Yeah. I think I'll save that for later. So I'll make sure it is what it is. So there's gonna be another story. But here's the danger. I got to be careful on that. There's kind of a fine line there. So I don't know. In all sincereness, I'm now being spied on by a lot of other new members, and I have to be careful of what I say. I'm sincere. It's a weird world, everybody. Yeah. So now thinking it through, I don't know. I'll probably have to have permission. Probably have to have permission if I can share with what Julie just told me. Yeah. I mean, you think that I'm making that up? I mean, I'm not embellishing here, everybody. On this beautiful Friday evening, there's a beautiful Friday evening. And I'm not even, I've been coughing and hacking so much. Between this fireplace, the fire pit, all the smoke I'm inhaling, that's not good. Drinking liquor isn't good. Smoking cigars ain't good. So I'm just getting to the point now, you know what? I think I'm just going to have to stop. I'm going to have to stop. I'm going to take a time out. The hacking and coughing is really getting... And it's a known fact. If you have GERD, the biggest thing that irritates GERD is coffee, alcohol, and smoking. And smoke. And it just makes you freaking light up hacking and coughing. So right now it's like, I think just have to take a time out, man. I did it before. I took a time out of... I have no lie. I took a time out from drinking coffee, alcohol, smoking cigars for like 2 or 3 years to heal my esophagus and my throat because it was so radical. I thought I had esophagus cancer back like in 2018, 19, I think it was. I truly thought that I was going to be going bye-bye. I mean, I went under for them to put a tube down my throat and then, take samples of my throat to see if I maybe had cancer. It's a big problem. Sadly, we live in a society. I mean, believe it or not, that's the number one thing that's going on in our country more than ever is people are dying from alcohol. Alcohol. It's huge. There's a whole article I was reading here the other day about the youth of our country. The consumption of alcohol is at an all-time high, and then vaping, cigars, and they're saying that it's incredible what's going on in society more than ever. The cancer is growing. It's not declining. So, and for me, I was never really a hard liquor drinker or smoker or anything in my younger years. I mean, I didn't do that. I mean, I drank beer, but I wasn't smoking cigars or cigarettes or weed. I didn't do any of that. None of that. It wasn't until I got older in my life that I got more into drinking beer, drinking wine, and then smoking, cigars. But that wasn't until I was in my 40s. So wow. So when I was getting older in life, you just think, wow. And where does it all go? The toxins that we put in our body that eventually kill you. So, but then that's a boring life. If you can't have your drink, you can't have your stogie. I mean, come on. I mean, to me, it's not like, yeah, I would, but, you know, I just think, yeah, come on, bro. This guy keeps on going over to the bucket of water, and you want to get the soap water, but you got a whole fresh thing of water right over here, everybody. All right, I think I'm going to wrap it up, and I guess stay tuned for the weekend adventures. What am I going to do? Well, I got some projects on my plate. I know that for sure, so let's see how that plays out. And it's Mother's Day weekend, which, happy Mother's Day to all those out there that are mothers. This is my first ever in my life that I'll be having Mother's Day without a mother. Isn't that something? Wow. And I'm sure there's many other people that are around my age, and maybe even younger, older, that you don't have a mother that is with you anymore to celebrate Mother's Day. So, wow. That'll be the first time for me, everybody, in 62 years of being on this earth that I don't have a mother to send cards to or flowers to. And spirit, and in thought, of course. So that's it. So happy Mother's Day for all those mothers out there. And God bless. Have a great evening.